Okay, so I've cleared it up a little bit. In there now, so that it's easier to access this bird's nest fern and basically figure out what we've got. So just put some of the leaf litter in there, and some of the sticks, some bark and whatnot in here. Now in the process, I've figured that that there is a lot of dairy cow isopods lurking around, so that's a good sign. So now I'm going to start removing this bird's nest fern. This is the bird's nest fern. Look at the size of the root base. Now, bird's nest ferns can be found in subtropics of India, and they are very popular plants in like zoo enclosures. For example, like humid butterfly houses and lizard, reptile enclosures and whatnot, as they can tolerate humidity. But I don't think this... Well, I suspect that it may have some kind of disease. I suspect. But it's coming out. Sorry, but it's coming out. And I will replace it with something else. The important tool to have in a setup like this is a pair of good pruners, because in the autumn time it's kind of like clearance jobs, cutting back and clearing stuff, and these come in very handy for that. So with cutting back or pruning, always find an area where there's a shoot coming out, like here, and then you can cut slightly above it. I'm going to just go a little bit higher, so there's a shoot growing just here. I'm just going to cut slightly above, and then hey presto. Going on from part 1 of this video, where I have cleared out some of the plant matter and debris from the enclosure to make way for new plants that I've ordered. So the new plants that I'm getting is a helianthemum, a chamomile, and a type of wormwood. All of those species are to go in this sort of central area here that I've cleared. The idea being that they will spread, amalgamate, and create like a sort of a bushy, scrubby habitat. Now you can see here that I've put some bark that I've stolen from the tree down in the corner, just along the edge in here, because I had a bit of an issue with flooding. So when I was watering the plants, the water would just drip everywhere and make a mess. So I've literally just put this bark along the edge here now. Looks a bit natural as well, but I haven't tested it out yet, so that is what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to water the ground a little bit, because it is pretty dry in there, so I'm just going to give it a good water. So the idea being that any runoff will sit in that little trench and then retain and gradually reabsorb back into the soil. So I think that should work as a temporary measure. So yeah, there's always jobs to do in an ecological terrarium, according to the season. So I'm preparing for winter blues now. So it's quieting down a lot in there. Mr. Jinx is in semi-brumation in that tree bark thing in the corner. And I'm just preparing the ground a little bit for some more planting. And then hopefully by the spring, we'll see lots of new growth. So that is the idea behind this whole project. And in the process, I have also resalvaged an old burrow. But because it's so kind of low in the ground, it keeps getting covered with debris. So beneath here, there's an old cave which was part of the original setup, which looked a lot different to what it is now. So I'm just trying to resalvage, but I don't know. It may not work out. Maybe the weight of the slate has pushed it down.